Farming is the main economic activity of the people of Wli Todzi, a small community on the Wli Mountains in the Hohoe municipality of the Volta region. They engage in cultivation of cash crops such as coffee, cocoa, plantain and banana in large quantities. Vegetables are also widely cultivated. In the 1990s, Wli Todzi was adjudged the leading producer of coffee in the Volta region. The unique location of the village makes it a potential tourist attraction. The height of the mountain provides a perfect site for hiking by tourists. Wli Todzi is also the home to the Agumatsa waterfalls, which flows downstream to form the Wli waterfalls. It is easier to get to the Wli waterfalls by hiking through the mountains than going through the Wli village to the falls. The ancient caves on the mountain makes the place a potential expedition destination for tourists. The most limiting factor, however, is an access route to and from Wli Todzi. The only access is this bush road which leads to Togo, even though the people are not Togolese. Descending and climbing this mountain is the only way that people can send their farm produce to the market at Hohoe. As this is difficult and ineffective to do, middlemen come in from Togo to exploit these poor farmers. The people say they are unable to send their product for sale at Togo as they are constantly harassed by the Togolese dam and at the same time find it difficult carting them down this mountain in large quantities to Hohoe due to lack of roads. Efforts by the villagers to manually construct a route through the mountains to Wli were suspended during the 1998 electioneering campaigns when the politicians feigned the construction of a road from Wli to the village. The project was however halted just after the elections. Climbing the over 3-kilometer high mountain on foot is the only option to get to the village. The journey starts with an hour's walk from the nearest village, Wli, to the foot of the mountain. The road journey then starts from the foot of the mountain. On average, it takes a period of 2.5 hours to climb the mountain. One has to be extra careful as the valleys on the shoulders of the only footpath on the mountain are steep and sharp. With the help of some good Samaritans, we started the journey from Wli at exactly 3 p.m. and at 7:30 p.m. we were still on the mountain. This was not unusual to the people of Wli Todzi as this has been a normal practice. This is the only route by which anybody at Wli Todzi can get anything at all, including provisions, toiletries, fish and health care at Wli or the municipal capital, Hohoe. This old lady told me that she is finding life unbearable at the village as she now finds it difficult to go up and down the mountain.
I can no longer descend and climb on my own unless I am carried.
One could not help but wonder how pregnant women manage to go up and down this mountain to access antenatal care or postnatal care. The whole village is plunged into chaos anytime someone is critically ill. In situations where the sick is too frail to walk, he or she is tied to a wooden stretcher and carried down the 3-kilometer mountain before being further carried on foot to the nearest village to board a vehicle to Hohoe. We chanced on this pregnant woman who was in labor. She was carried to the chief's palace for Gongon to be beaten to assemble the youth to carry her down the mountain on the wooden stretcher. Thankfully, the response was prompt since that has been the order of the day. The youth rushed in from various directions to help tie her up for the journey to the hospital.
As you can see, this pregnant woman is being cut to Wli because there's no transport, there's no access route to cut her to Wli, and it's only God who is going to save her because she's going to be cut through the mountains. This same stretcher is what they use to cut even the dead. It is the same stretcher they use to cut the sick to Wli.
It was difficult to believe that what we witnessed was not a well-scripted drama, as I wondered if this woman would survive the ordeal. This woman was carried through even the most dangerous part of the mountain. This lactating mother had a similar experience before she delivered.
I didn't know I delivered because I was unconscious. I delivered on Wednesday, but I got to know on Friday that I had delivered.
She told me she was among the lucky ones to make the journey alive. Others were not so lucky. The people of Wli Todzi, by the support of the European Union through the Hohoe Municipal Assembly, started the erection of a health post some years back, but the project has come to a standstill as the contractor complains of lack of funds. Currently, this room serves as a first aid post. I was told that even though 2 nurses work at the place, their presence is not guaranteed at all times. There is no midwife at the village, so all women in labor go through this grueling experience before delivery. This same method is used to cut down any other person who is critically ill, as in such situations, the nurses only ask that the sick be carried down to Hohoe by any means. Communication is yet another problem in Wli Todzi. This spot, some 1 kilometer away from the village, is the only place one could receive or make a telephone call. These people you see are trying all means to get network signals on their phones to make calls. In order to avoid dropping of signal, the people stand on chairs and sometimes some being carried shoulder high to get good reception.
Hello, yeah. Hello, ma. Huh? Okay. Hello.
Thankfully, the village is connected to the national electricity grid. I was told the youth of the village carried the electric poles on foot to climb the mountain during the installation of the power distribution equipment in the village. It was a burden they agreed to bear as a condition for ECG to get them connected to the national electricity grid. Unfortunately, most of these poles are giving way as most were provided by the village itself. There is no potable water for the people. The Agumatsa stream, which goes to form the Wli waterfalls, is the only source of water for both drinking and other domestic use. One would wonder what motivated these people to settle on this mountain. The chief of Wli Todzi, Togbe Agbenoto III, has the answer.
Our forefathers were hunters, so they moved down from Wli Agoviepe to Wli Todzi. So through the hunting, they came to see this place and they realized that the place is good for farming. So they decided to settle down and then do their farming and at the same time hunt.
Children of school-going age at Wli Todzi are still struggling to benefit from the free compulsory universal basic education. This structure, which was built in 1961, used to house the Wli Todzi MA Basic School. After it became unsafe to study in this dilapidated classroom, this structure was built by the Municipal Assembly for the JHS, but the primary school portion was left uncompleted. It was through communal labor and the assistance from the Catholic Church that this structure was erected for a primary school. Obviously, the teachers always have to bend forward before entering the classrooms. Most of the classrooms we visited either have inadequate desk or no desk at all, and so the children are compelled to bring along their own desks. Most of the children at the lower primary section have no tables or even slates to write on, and so some have turned the clay floor into slate while sitting virtually on the floor. This is the only way they can take part in class exercises. A teacher at the school who spoke with TV Africa said there are only 3 trained teachers in the school since most trained teachers refuse posting to the place.
Because of the nature of the place, people don't like to come here. Also, the network, there is no network. Sometimes where there is something going on, then sometimes it may pass through our district before we get the information. Last time they sent some circulars for promotion of the teachers, but very unfortunately they finished that thing before it reaches us here.
This school is not captured in the famous school feeding program, and no child has benefited from the government's free school uniform project, making it difficult for the already impoverished parents to afford education for their wards. Notwithstanding all these challenges, the people of Wli Todzi find means of making themselves happy by playing their traditional games. Occasionally performing the traditional war dance Akpi also reminds the people of the bravery exhibited by their forefathers to strive for better living conditions. Wli Todzi may have a serene atmosphere with fresh air wafting through these mountains, but life up here could be described as hell on earth. So until help arrives from the now proverbial pipeline, the people of Wli Todzi will have to keep grappling with this daily nightmare. From the evidence of their present circumstances, the people of Wli Todzi will need to exhibit more than the bravery exhibited by their forefathers just to stay long enough to get their own share of the Better Ghana agenda. For Television Africa News, Nita Tiablo reporting.
You